Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Teresa Sunita George, Assistant Professor, St. Paul's College, Kalamashwari. Today in this video, I'm going to speak about nanotechnology. So nanotechnology is a word that we usually hear in our daily life. So through this video, we are going to explore and answer about some of the basic questions. First, what is a nanoparticle? How big is nano? How big is a nanometer? What is nanoscience? And what is its difference with the nanotechnology? Why we are going for nanoparticles? What are the opportunities which are hidden in the nano dimension, and what are the techniques which are usually used for the characterization of nanoparticles? So, first of all, what is a nanoparticle? When we hear about nanoparticle, we have heard about different terms relating to that, like nanotubes, nanoparticles, aerosols, nanocapsules, quantum dots, nanoparticulate materials, etc. So we can actually divide a nanoparticles based on the origin, such as natural and manufactured one. So we can have certain particles, nanoparticles, as such found in nature, or some we can synthesize in a lab using suitable methods. Now these nanoparticles, depending upon the dispersion, they can be dispersed in gases. When they disperse in gases, we call them as aerosols, and they can be dispersed in liquids, then we call them as gel, ferrofluids, and we can have the dispersion of these nanoparticles even in the solids. We call them as matrix materials, or sometimes composites, for example the polymer composites, etc. Now, when they disperse in gases, liquids, or solid, the state of aggregation, they can be exist in the form of single particles. Since they are very nano, they have got a tendency to aggregate. So they can be in the form of aggregation. So sometimes they form all these aggregate and they form a agglomerate. So they stick one to each other, and they form agglomerates. So that in that case we don't get the advantage of having nanoparticles, because all these small nanoparticles are combined together to form a very big particle. So the advantage of nanoparticle cannot be explored in such type of when agglomeration is occurred in any kind of composites. Now, the next one is the chemical composition. Now, depending upon the material in which we are mixing these nanoparticles, we can have the metal oxides as nanoparticles. We can have this nanoparticle mixed in the polymers, or we can have the carbon, different forms of carbon as in nanoparticles. We can have the semiconductors. We can have the biomolecules even in the nanometer range. Now, but all the nanoparticles, only if we modify the surface of the nanoparticle, they will be able to better interact with any kind of the matrix like polymer, metals, etc. And also, we usually modify the surface of the nanoparticles using certain coupling agents or any other organic compounds. Now, depending upon the structure or shape, we can classify the nanoparticles into spheres, needles, platelets, tubes. So, the tubes, for example, we are having carbon nanotubes, platelets, nanoclays, then nanosilicas. They all are having these spherical shapes. So, we can have a wide variety of nanoparticles like quantum dots, aerosols, nanoparticles, nanotubes, etc. Now, what is a nanoparticle? So, this picture shows an example of a nanoparticle. This is fullerene. This is named after a architect, Buckminster Fullerene. It's otherwise known as buckyball. It's a C60 fullerene. It consists of 60 carbon atoms linked together in one unit. Now, how big is a nano? So, when we are trying to compare a football towards the earth, similar is the comparison of a fullerene towards a football. So that much ratio difference is there between a nanoparticle and all when we compare it with a football, similar to that of comparing a football with that of the universe. Now, how big is a nano? It's another thing is another way we can explain it is it's a million times smaller than the smallest measurement that you can see on a ruler. Now, another way of interpreting it is like that it is assumed that a human fingernail grows 1 nanometer every second and a man's beard grows 5 nanometer every second. Now, this is a SEM image of this our hair, one single strand of the hair, and we can see you can see over here a silver nanowire resting on the human hair. So, this much is the smallest, the size of the nanoparticle. So what is nanoscience? Next question. It is actually the study and manipulation of the materials at the nanoscale. So why we are going for these nanoparticles? What is the peculiarity in the nanoparticles? You know, when at nanoscale, the strange things happen to the materials. Their properties will change, particularly in three matters. One is reactivity, second is the size, and third is the magnetism. So when the particles will become smaller, you know, they tend to react differently with the environment compared to the larger counterparts. Now the size is that smaller particles they are found to have different optical properties. That means they are showing different colors. And magnetism, smaller particles can have different magnetic properties than larger. So first let us see the reactivity. For that, a simple example that we can consider here is I've got a sugar cubes over here and also the powdered sugar over here. Obviously we know that the powdered sugar they dissolves fast in water, isn't it? So similarly is the case of the nanoparticles. So when the size is reduced, it reacts faster. The simple reason behind is the surface area increases. Now, what happens when the size? This is actually the gold, which we usually see in the form of solid, yellow colored metal. But what about when we decrease the size of the gold to the nano size? We can see that these are also the nano gold. But all these are having the different size of nano gold particles, so the color is also found to be different. So this technology is actually known to our ancestors, and 100 years ago it was known as the art, but the red stained glass get its color from the nanoparticles of gold that are 20 nanometers. If this orange stained glass, they get the color from the nanoparticles of 80 nanometers. But earlier we don't know the secret, but now we know the secret and we call it as nanotechnology. So what is nanotechnology? So the development of materials and devices by exploiting the characteristics of particles on the nanoscale by humans is known as the nanotechnology. So these are some of the impacts of nanotechnology. It is used in healthcare system, in the diagnosis, targeted drug delivery system, then in the sports industry, cosmetic industry, clothing, space elevators. Then it's also used in the technological field for faster processing, morphing computers, smaller, more powerful mobile devices. Then it's also used in the environment, that for cleaner energy, better energy storage and treatment of water. Now, how do we build small things? There are two approaches that we usually use to make the nanoparticle. One is known as top-down approach and other is known as the bottom-up approach. And it's actually a question of science, size, macro, micro, and now we are going into the era of nano. So what we want to see dictates what instruments we use. So if you want to know more about the nanoparticle, we must have to characterize nanoparticles. So we must use the instruments which are beyond the magnifying glasses. We have got the powerful optical microscopes. Beyond optical microscopes, we have got the powerful electron microscopes, surface analysis studies like SEM, TEM, etc. Then we have got the elemental analysis and many more in the characterization field of nanoparticles. So then we have the atomic force microscope. Then these are some of the techniques that we are using for measuring the size of nanoparticles: AFM, electron microscopy, optical microscopy, then electron sound sensing, dynamic light scattering, etc. So this is just about an introduction about the nanotechnology. Hope you have understood the basics of nanoscience and nanotechnology, also the difference between the nanoscience and nanotechnology, how the nano is important to us, and what are the applications of nanotechnology. Thank you.